talking the issues and taking the hit. Here they are, the two crazy guys.
You know, during the break, it occurred to me that we do have a new sponsor, and we'd like you to log on to their website over at www.getthet.com. Pretty interesting. I was over there looking around. You know, it's not just tea. I mean, they have a lot of stuff over there that's on their website. And, you know, I actually put their banner on our Red State Underground page today. But log on to www.getthet.com and have a look around. They got some pretty cool stuff over there.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention, you know, we talked to John Jeffers the other day, and he was saying Contra Radio on Podbeam, what's that, just CRN or ContraRadio.com Podbeam or whatever. He's got followers now in Japan, so we're getting a worldwide reach.
Yeah, man, and that's us too. You know, we're there because we are on Contra Radio Network, as well as all of you folks up here listening in on 540 on the AM dial. You can also stream the program on YAH Radio 540. YAH540radio.com.
Yes, and you know, I was on the website. I'm always on the website checking things out, and I know one of the little banners said they were working on their stream. They were having problems, but that's I think an older tag up there because it seems to be working good now.
Yeah, I was listening today, and it's listening good. All you have to do, like I said, YAH540radio.com, and then click on Listen Live, and you can stream the programming right there on your computer, on your smart device, whatever it is. This podcast will also make it into iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, and you know the drill, and also over on ContraRadioNetwork.com.
Anywhere you want to find it, we'll probably be there annoying people, so...
They're two crazy guys, man. So it is what it is. You know, we are crazy. Maybe we're not crazy. Maybe everyone else is just crazy.
I kind of like that theory because you know, it works for me anyway. Well, you know, and John was saying that you know, our first couple shows have done really well on the radio. I appreciate that. I want to thank all our listeners that tuned in.
Absolutely, yes.
And you know, on the podcast and everywhere. Big thumbs up to all of you.
Yeah, because without you guys, we don't have a show. Oh. So the two crazy guys, you know, we have so much to talk about, really. Mark and I are trying to, because we do live down here in Southeast Arizona in a border town. And so whatever's going on the border does affect our lives, you know. Whatever happens with this whole border thing, it affects us directly, and it's probably going to affect not so much our everyday lives because we're not exclusively down on the border exactly. You know, we're inland a few miles, but, you know, whatever legislation passes certainly is probably going to have some kind of an effect on us.
Right. And we are, what I would say, 20 miles north of the center and where we live. So we're in that zone there where they come through. And like you said, it doesn't really affect us because once they get across, I think they're trying to get as far away because we have a high concentration of, you know, ICE and Border Patrol and everyone here. So they kind of get away. But we do see the effects. I mean, I talked to ranchers out there that will tell you things that, you know, and most ranchers are pretty down-to-earth people. They don't really mind if somebody's, you know, walking across their ranch. But you know, these people will turn on the water and leave it on. They'll leave the hay barn open, and then the hay, you know, the horses overeat and get sick, and it's like, you know, we see the problems, and they tell us about what's going on, and it's like, wow, you know, they're really experiencing it firsthand there right on the border.
Yeah, you know,
it's a made up crisis.
No, it's not. It's not a made up crisis. In fact, it's actually probably an oppressed crisis because the media really isn't covering it like they should be covering it. They're They're covering it. Look at what they did to Roger Stone, man. They've driven that guy through the mud. CNN, had a report. In fact, that he was going off on the judge or something like that. And Roger Stone, in his words, that he never did that.
Right. Yeah, he's a pretty nice guy. I mean, yeah, he's probably got a past that someone can dig up, like you and me and probably 90% of our listeners. There's always something out there you go, oh, I forgot. But he's just a normal guy that was supporting the president of the United States. And for that one reason alone, they made his life hell. They pretty much bankrupted him and so many others.
Yeah.
I can't even, the list is so long now, I can't even think of all the people they have financially ruined. With these.
Roger Stone is a patriot, man. He's a true patriot. He refuses to incriminate the president, and he's standing his ground. He's a patriot, and he's probably going to need some support. So I think there's a website out there that
and I had that written down somewhere too, but it's if you Google Roger Stone there, it's his
it'll come up. Yeah.
And not to say I think he's doing really well with the legal defense fund, because it's going to cost him a fortune, but he's been promoting it pretty hard, and I hope a lot of people that support Trump will go on there and help support Roger Stone, because he was a hardcore supporter of Trump.
Yeah, and he still is. So
yeah.
Actually, the website is www.stonedefensefund.com. So if you could find it in your heart to maybe go over there and give the guy a couple of bucks, man, to help him out, because he's being put through the ringer. He's a patriotic American, and this goes to show you how the deep state operates, man. They don't care. They're going to bankrupt the guy, and they don't care. And they'll wash him up, wash their hands with him and spit him out on the street and leave him to die.
Yeah. And if no charges were brought against him over time and everything, all they got to do is, keep up their sustainable actions against you. And eventually you run out of money.
Yeah.
And you have no choice but to either, do a plea bargain or fold up your tent and go home, and you don't have a home, so you're broke. So there's millions of people out there that support Trump and Roger Stone, and like you said, even if it's just $1, he's got $1 million then. I'm always trying to donate a little bit here and there, and eventually you're like, you run out with all the charities and the sheriff's funds.
I'm kind of there. I'm kind of there
things
now.
Things like that, you have to go, this is out of the ordinary. We have our standard charities that we give to every year. Yeah. Sometimes something comes along and you're like, yeah, I got $5. I got $10. I can give up my coffee for 1 or 2 days. And
that's kind of where I'm at now. I try to find those just causes, and I try to help them when I can. And I'm kind of there now that, I've maxed out. I've basically maxed out.
Yeah. And so, we're just, we're not pitching for the man, but it's like, every time a patriot gets caught up in the whirlwind of injustice, people need to at least take a stand, talk about it, if nothing else on your Facebook thing, or if you do live things, let people know that there's something going on it's not American. They talk about this wall being immoral. What they're doing to Roger Stone and people like that is what I think is immoral. Building a wall it's a construction project. There's nothing immoral about it. If there was, then the Pope would tear down the one around the Vatican.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know Roger Stone from Adam. I've never met the guy. I've never spoken to the guy. I don't know him at all. I know that what I see of him, he's a stand-up guy, and that's why I offered to put that website out there, because he is in need. For what they've done to that man. I mean, they sent in more people than we sent in to go get bin Laden to go get him. CNN, of course, was there, with lights, camera, and action reporter on the spot, at 6 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning, to an unarmed man's house.
And here come all the FBI guys, glad handing this, CNN reporter, basically almost shaking his hand, patting him on the back as they walk by. And yet this is a secure, no-knock warrant or whatever they want to call it. They don't let people just hang out and film it,
Right. So, yeah. That whole thing, with Roger Stone, I think was totally uncalled for. But, it's not over. I mean, there's so much to come with it just amazes me how low the left will go. And I don't know why. It almost seems like America doesn't see it, or I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
I have a theory on that. I got a theory on everything. Sometimes they're wrong, but
yeah, well,
they've created a society, and I don't mean they like the Democrat or the Republicans. It's just, corruption and power, whoever they become. That it takes 2, sometimes 3 incomes to run a household nowadays. You got so many things on our plate, and there's so much going on, and there's so many good crises they're not letting go to waste.
Yeah.
That eventually you almost just get overwhelmed and dizzy. Kind of like you were saying with Tapped Out for even helping somebody out in a charity. There's so much going on, and so we get inundated. And it's hard to keep your eye on the ball when there's 10,000 balls coming at you.
Yeah, right.
And all
exactly.
of them are equally as important. But how do you focus it? And that's why I say, if you can get local, it definitely levels the playing field a little bit to where you're not trying to pay attention to, all the goings on of 50 states. It's just my local area, my county, I got a good mayor, I got a good sheriff, got a good, county council, and then you can start breathing a little better. It helps a bit. And with the border, I think our county is pretty on board with this border because we are so affected by it.
Yeah,
and I'm sure there's millions of ways we can handle it, but Trump has a plan, and no one else came up with one for the last 50 years.
Exactly.
So I guess when you put off a decision long enough, something has to be done.
Yeah, exactly.
And they talk about it like it's just the worst thing ever. It's like, well, I don't see a plan coming from you. They talk about, increasing security so we see them coming. Well, we see them coming, and they say that's a manufactured crisis.
Yeah.
So if we have all this high-tech cameras and we see them coming, what's that going to do when they get here?
Exactly.
So then we send in a bunch of Border Patrol, and there's not enough people in that one area because it's all along a 2,000-mile border. And then what are we going to do? Shoot at them?
Exactly.
No. So there's that might be a cute idea to see them coming, but what happens when they throw the first punch, basically?
Well, okay. So what happened?
All of a sudden, you need a barrier there to where you can talk across your fence and go, you stay on your side.
What happened when the caravan came here? We knew they were coming. We saw them coming when they were down in Guatemala, man.
Yeah. And yet they kept saying it's not true. Obama, well, they're out there somewhere. We don't even know where they're at. It's like, we have satellites. We know exactly where everybody is.
Yeah.
And so they know it's there. So let's say that we get this high-tech security wall, which, you kind of work, in that industry. It doesn't help you to see them coming. If I see it's going to snow, or rain, if I don't buy an umbrella, I'm still going to get wet. I saw it coming.
Yeah.
So they don't have a plan for when these imaginary illegals get to our border. Then how do we stop them so we can take their name and phone number and hope they show up in immigration court?
Yeah, exactly. Hope they show up.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Otherwise, then we don't need a border. Just let them all put turnstiles in there. You take a number. It's like, 56,500,000, and go in. You have to have a border. I mean,
exactly.
But I guess to these people, you don't, and I think that is the biggest problem. Not just with politicians being feckless and vapid, basically. We need to figure out the root problem of our border,
Right.
and come up with a solution saying, we can't let you other million in until like 6 weeks from now when we open the light turns green again. And it's not like it's just one day of the year. It happens all year.
Yeah.
I think they're just impatient and they don't want to play by our rules, which tells me that then I don't want you here.
Exactly.
If you can't follow that rule, then you're not going to follow my right to privacy. You're going to trespass on my property. You're going to drive drunk. You're going to, molest our children. You have no respect for our rule of law. You just showed us that at the border.
Exactly. Listen, I hear the music playing in the background, so that means we got to go and take another break. So
Right.
Stick around. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
Thanks for tuning in. Catch them next time as they dig into the issues. The two crazy guys. Log on to the website at www.contraradionetwork.com.